Remember when adults used to tell you, wow, you're so smart for your age? You were probably, what, 9 years old? Solving math problems, reading books way above your grade, asking weird philosophical questions at dinner? You were the smart kid. Capital S, capital K, and now you're an adult. Overthinking emails, Googling how to stop procrastinating at 1:47 a.m., avoiding your unread messages like they owe you money. Yeah, same. So what happened? Where did all that potential go? And why does it feel like your brain's running on 12% battery, even after a full night's sleep? Let's talk about it. If you're already feeling personally attacked in the best way, hit that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe. This channel's for overachievers in recovery. You weren't smart, you were just obedient. No one tells you this as a kid, but being smart in school doesn't mean you're set for life. It usually just means you were good at following instructions. Teachers love smart kids, not because they're geniuses, but because they're predictable. You raise your hand, you finish your work, you memorize what you're told. That's not genius. That's compliance. But life doesn't come with rubrics. There's no A+ for staying calm in a group chat. No gold star for dealing with taxes before the deadline. No one claps when you fold your laundry. So if you grew up being rewarded for being clever, quiet and quick, and now you're stuck overthinking every decision, congrats. You were trained to perform, not to process. Gifted equals anxious, because when everything comes easy as a kid, failure hits like a truck later. You never learned how to struggle, you learned how to win. So now when something takes actual effort, you panic. You assume something's wrong with you. You don't know how to build slowly. You only know how to impress immediately. You were taught to fear the B+, to panic at the red pen, to tie your self-worth to being better than average. So you avoid anything that might make you look average. You'd rather delay, procrastinate, or ghost entirely than try and maybe not be amazing. You learned how to perform smart, which is different from being smart. Smart kids get really good at looking impressive, which usually means saying things that sound deep, nodding along when you're confused, and praying no one asks a follow-up question. But real intelligence is curiosity. It's saying I don't know out loud. It's asking questions you're afraid might sound stupid. It's failing in public and learning anyway. So while actual smart people were out there learning through mistakes, you were stuck pretending you had it all figured out, frozen in perfection, because you didn't want to disappoint anyone. If this is hitting a little too close to home, drop a comment with just one word. Oof! You'll feel less alone instantly. Promise. From gifted kid to burned out adult. Because being the smart one becomes your whole personality. You're not allowed to struggle, not allowed to be lost, not allowed to feel tired. So what do? You fake it. You smile. You help everyone else. You give advice you don't even follow yourself. And eventually, you break. You stop starting things. You sabotage your own potential. You live in the land of almost finished, almost got it together, almost became who you thought you'd be by now. And you still feel guilty, as if that 9-year-old version of you is watching, arms crossed, whispering, "This is it? Really?" But maybe that smart kid was never the point. You weren't born to live up to your potential. You were born to expand it. That version of you, the one who won spelling bees and read books for fun, they got you here, but they're not supposed to run the show anymore. What got you an A in school won't build you a life you actually enjoy. And that's okay. It's not failure. It's growth. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to drop the gifted label. You're allowed to stop performing and start being. You're allowed to be curious again, messy again, confused again. You don't need a gold star to be valuable. You don't owe the world excellence. You owe yourself honesty. So what now? Let go of the idea that you wasted your potential. You didn't waste anything. You survived. You adapted. You're still here figuring it out. And that's not a failure. That's the assignment. Start small, write badly, launch imperfectly, ask the question even if you think it's dumb. Try the thing even if it might flop. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to keep going. Maybe being gifted isn't about doing more than others. Maybe it's about noticing more, caring more, wanting more. And maybe that's not something you lost. Maybe it's something you're still growing into. Let's talk about perfectionism. Perfectionism isn't striving for excellence. It's fear in a costume, fear of judgment, fear of failing publicly, fear of proving your inner critic right. And the worst part? It keeps you stuck in your head, always planning, never acting. You become brilliant at imagining the version of you that never exists in real life. You know what else they don't tell you? Once you're labeled smart, people stop teaching you. They assume you've got it. So while others get support and second chances, you're expected to just figure it out, alone. That kind of silent pressure doesn't make you grow. It just makes you afraid to ask. There's a weird shame that comes with struggling when you're the smart one. You feel like every mistake is a betrayal, like you've tricked everyone into believing you were capable, like if they really knew how much of it was winging it, they'd be disappointed. But guess what? Everyone's winging it, especially the ones who look like they're not. And can we be real for a second? The adult world is messy. It doesn't reward raw intelligence. It rewards consistency, communication, emotional regulation, the stuff they never tested you on in school. So if you feel behind, it's not because you failed. It's because the rules changed and no one gave you the memo. It also messes with your motivation. You don't chase what excites you. You chase what proves you're still exceptional. You pick paths that look impressive instead of ones that feel right. You climb ladders you don't even like because you're afraid of what it would mean to step off. That's why you feel exhausted. Not because you're lazy, not because you're broken, but because you're constantly trying to keep up with an identity you outgrew. You're playing a role that no longer fits. And deep down, you know it. Rebuilding isn't glamorous. It's not some perfect morning routine or productivity hack. It's sitting with the discomfort of being average, of being new, of letting go of the pressure to prove. It's slow, it's unsexy, but it's real growth. And you deserve that. So here's your permission to stop performing, to start exploring, to trade achievement for alignment. Because the truth is, you don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to be fully, completely, unapologetically you. That's enough. That's always been enough. If this video made you feel like someone finally gets it, then smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with the one thing you're finally letting go of. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next one.